Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be telling you about atypical pneumonia. So atypical pneumonia are also known as walking pneumonia. It is a type of pneumonia which is not caused by the one of the pathogens most commonly associated with the disease. For example, Streptococcus pneumoniae or pneumococcus. It is not caused by that organism. So it also tends to have milder symptom as compared to the typical pneumonia. So as these patients have very milder symptoms as compared to the typical pneumonia patient, so they will come to the clinic or the hospital directly and they will say that doctor, I have this kind of complaint. So that's why the name given walking pneumonia. Patient will come walking to the hospital or the doctor. So etiology, although there are various organisms responsible for the atypical pneumonia, but there are some which are majorly responsible for the infection. So the main triad which is responsible, I would say, for atypical pneumonia will be Mycoplasma pneumoniae, Legionella species and Chlamydia pneumoniae. Out of these, most commonly causative organism for atypical pneumonia will be Mycoplasma pneumoniae. And apart from these three, there can be pneumocystic xerovechi, Coxella burnetii, or viruses which can lead to atypical pneumonia. So pneumocystic xerovechi usually don't occur in every person, or it does not lead infection in every person. It only attack the persons who are having very low immunity, or you can say immunocompromised patients, such as in AIDS patients, especially those who have CD4 count less than 200. In those patients, if the patient will contract pneumonia, it will be due to pneumocystic xerovechi. Apart from that, Coxella burnetii also cause atypical pneumonia. And if we talk about viruses, then respiratory syncytial virus, influenza type A. Influenza type A, although it is the most common cause for viral pneumonia, most common cause for viral pneumonia out of all the viruses will be influenza type A. And there is a specific, you can say, speciality for influenza type A, as it causes secondary pneumonia. It never affects the host primarily there will be any another type of bacteria, virus, fungi or parasite will be present that will be leading to the pneumonia formation into that person, and later on, after the complication or after the treatment subside, then secondary pneumonia is caused by influenza type A virus. Another virus is cytomegalovirus. It also causes atypical pneumonia, especially in immunocompromised patient. But here the examiner can ask a very important question. For example, if a patient who recently had a transplant and he contracted pneumonia, which is the virus involved, so in that case, cytomegalovirus will be your answer, because it is in especially in those patients who recently received a transplant or post-transplant patients. Okay, post-transplant patient have which type of, you can say, virus responsible for the pneumonia, that will be cytomegalovirus. In case of non-immunized babies, measles tends to cause pneumonia also. So this is all about the basic you can say etiology of atypical pneumonia. Now we will learn from the triad the most important causative organisms, like three which we have read: the Mycoplasma pneumoniae, the Legionella species and the Chlamydia pneumonia. So we will learn, or we will read about Mycoplasma pneumoniae first. So it is one of the most common cause of atypical pneumonia. As all of the atypical pneumonia causes, Mycoplasma pneumonia is the most common cause for it, and infection is acquired by inhalation of aerosol, usually from closed spaces. So basically these closed spaces means the person who contracted the pneumonia may be living in hostels, for example we students, or pgs, in pgs or in military barracks. So basically the examiner will give in exam like question like this, that a pneumonia contracted or a sudden like outbreak of something from closed spaces. If closed spaces are involved, then this will be your organism who is responsible for having atypical pneumonia. Incubation period for atypical pneumonia caused by Mycoplasma pneumonia will be 2 to 4 weeks. So what are the clinical signs and symptoms? Like the patient, what are the symptoms that he will present with? So non-productive cough, it is one of the most important symptom that will differentiate it from the typical pneumonia, as in case of typical pneumonia there will be productive cough, and always there will be productive cough. The patient will cough sputum. The sputum color will be of rusty color. Rusty sputum will be present in case of typical pneumonia, while in case of atypical pneumonia caused by Mycoplasma pneumoniae, there always will be dry cough will be present. Dry cough, it is a very important sign and symptom that differentiate it from the typical pneumonia. And low grade fever will be there. Headache, malaise. On physical examination we can hear wheeze sound or rail sound may be present. Also the atypical pneumonias, the patient used to have extrapulmonary symptoms. As compared to it, the typical pneumonia patient don't have as such extrapulmonary symptom or manifestation, but in case of atypical pneumonia they have these symptoms. So what are these symptoms? They can be laryngitis bullosa, erythema can be present, encephalitis, and septic arthritis. So these are the extrapulmonary manifestation caused by Mycoplasma pneumoniae. Now comes to the diagnosis of this Mycoplasma pneumoniae. So acute Mycoplasma pneumonia can be diagnosed by PCR analysis. So if we do the PCR analysis of the respiratory tract secretions of the sputum, sorry, not sputum, sputum is not produced, basically the secretions, we have to analyze the secretion, and the serological testing for IgM IgG antibodies can also be done in case of this Mycoplasma pneumoniae. So what is the treatment? So treatment is basically, the first line of treatment will be macrolides. So macrolides will be azithromycin 500 mg for the first day, and later on followed by 250 mg azithromycin for the rest 4 days. Apart from this, what we can give tetracycline. For example, doxycycline can be given 100 mg bed for 10 to 14 days, and respiratory fluoroquine moxifloxacin 500 mg qd for 10 to 14 days. So this is all about the atypical pneumonia which is caused by Mycoplasma pneumoniae. Now we will study about Legionella species pneumonia. So this is the second organism which is among the 3 most common causative organism for atypical pneumonia. So Legionella species pneumonia, it is transmitted by aspiration, aerosol, and mostly in ICU patients. Also hospitalized patient with low immunity or post-transplant patient. As I already told you, post-transplant patient, the virus who is responsible for most infections in post-transplant patient will be cytomegalovirus, and if it comes to the atypical organism or atypical pneumonia, then it will be Legionella species pneumonia. So what are the clinical signs and symptoms? The clinical signs and symptoms, usually Legionella manifest as either an acute, febrile, or self-limiting illness. It will usually clear out on its own. It is known as Pontac fever, or it can lead to pneumonia, which is also given the name Legionnaire's disease. So Legionella species pneumonia, or the pneumonia caused by Legionella species, is known as Legionnaire's disease. So there are some non-specific symptoms, like these are also present in other type of pneumonia. For example, mild fever, malaise, headache, fever, fatigue, anorexia, and mild cough. But there are some other clinical manifestations which are important. For example, the patient will be having diarrhea, hematuria, and confusion. So these important things we should rule out before going into some other diagnosis. And one of the most important things that we will find in Legionnaire's disease is the patient will be having hyponatremia and hyperkalemia. That means the sodium level will be very low and the potassium level is very high in these patients. That will directly point towards the Legionnaire disease. So what is the diagnosis here that we can do in these patients? So the basic, we can do sputum or bronchoscopy specimen, and DFA staining and culture can be done, and culture can be done on bias medium. So Legionella species bacteria, they are basically culture on bias medium, BYCE, bias medium. And urinary antigen testing can also be done. It is the most specific. So the most specific and the most important diagnostic criteria will be urinary antigen testing will be present, because as the clinical manifestation suggests, hematuria is present, so the Legionella species will be found definitely in the urine. So the treatment, the first line of treatment will be macrolides like azithromycin 500 mg for 5 to 10 days, or we can also give clarithromycin 500 mg BD for 10 to 14 days. And we can also give fluoroquinones like levofloxacin, that is 750 mg IV or 500 mg per oral 10 to 14 days, or moxifloxacin 400 mg per oral or 10 to 14 days. We can also give rifampicin, rifampin 300 to 600 mg BD, or these are like, this can be added basically to 1 or 2 in severe cases when the patient is having severe symptoms or severely progressing pneumonia. In those cases, rifampin can be added into either macrolides or fluoroquinines. In case of immunocompetent host, for example, the patient immunity is good, like patient is good, have good immunity, in those patient the treatment should be for 10 to 14 days. And in immunocompromised or advanced diseased case, there should be a 3-week course for this treatment regime. So this is about the Legionella species. And now we will move on to Chlamydia pneumoniae. So this is the last in the triad of the atypical pneumonia most common causes. First we read about Mycoplasma pneumoniae, second we read about Legionella species pneumonia, and now Chlamydia pneumoniae. So it is the second most common cause of atypical pneumonia. So the most common cause of atypical pneumonia is Mycoplasma pneumoniae, and second most common cause is Chlamydia pneumoniae. So Chlamydia pneumoniae is a common cause of human respiratory disease, mainly in adults, and the clinical spectrum of the Chlamydia pneumonia includes acute pharyngitis, sinusitis, bronchitis, and pneumonia. So the Chlamydia pneumoniae bacteria basically causes all these 4 diseases in human beings. And clinical signs and symptoms are basically mild fever, dry cough, and minimal finding on auscultation. Elderly patients can have a severe disease due to decreased immunity and all other things. The diagnosis, we can see fourfold size in titer between acute and cold phase serum samples, and culture is difficult for chlamydia pneumonia. So this is basically a rare type, but in as compared to the atypical pneumonias, it is the second most common cause, so we have to read about it. And this is the diagnosis criteria. No much information about the diagnosis given in any of the books, but we will see the treatment, which is the most important thing for us. So the main treatment line, or the first line, will be erythromycin or tetracyclines will be given for 10 to 14 days, 2 gram per day. And macrolide or quinones can be also be given as an alternative agents. So these are all the three I have told you about. First, I told you about Mycoplasma pneumoniae, which is the most common type. Second, we read about Legionella species pneumoniae, and last but not the least, we read about Chlamydia pneumoniae. So this is all the important things that you need to know about atypical pneumonia. Hope you like this video and you understand from it quite well. So thank you so much, guys. We'll meet next time.